Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have the founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. Let's go ahead and open up that waiting room and let people in. Welcome, welcome, welcome to all of you who are joining us live on Daily with Doc and Becca. Now, if you're watching on a replay or on the live stream and you would like to be here live in our audience, you are welcome to join us by going to zoom.dailywithdoc.com. Just put that into your URL and that will bring you right into the Zoom room. And you want to do that between 12 and 1 p.m. Pacific time. Now you can come a few minutes early as we do have a waiting room as we're getting everything set up. But again, that is zoom.dailywithdoc.com from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time, 1 to 2 Mountain, 2 to 3 Central, and 3 to 4 Eastern. And if you're somewhere else, just add in the times and or ask your favorite browser, and they'll tell you exactly what time it is and where to be. So anyways, this program is being sponsored by dailywithdoc.com. This is a website that is ran by a group of independent distributors that we want to make sure that people are getting the information they need in order to make the right decisions for themselves. That's why we have become a resource to an amazing community of certified holistic health coaches, health advocates, alternative and traditional medicine practices as practitioners as well. And we are here for everyone. I love the fact that there is more and more communities that are joining the acknowledgement of the importance of nutrition when it comes to having just a body that does well. So we are going to be giving more information about how you yourself can achieve a better health journey. And sometimes it takes U-turns, and many of us fortunate people, I wasn't one of them, just want to maintain great health. So if you're in the mood to learn and be able to take action on what you learn, you're in the right place. So today on Daily with Doc, we have the one and only Dr. Joel Wallach, who is the man who started this crusade. Now, since this is a resource for everyone involved in that crusade, we want to make sure that you get back with the person that shared this program with you. Make sure that you tell them thank you. They cared enough about you and wanted to make sure that you had the information you needed to make decisions. Now, chances are they've heard something on a program and they thought of you. So make sure that you get back with them and tell them thank you for thinking of you. Now, they are going to be your point of contact from here on out. Now, if you found this program all on your own, doing a search or whatever, and you want to get more information about what you can do as an individual to help yourself, we do have a call team standing by for those who have never tried any of the products mentioned on our program and who were not in any type of conversation with Dr. Joel Wallach mentioned or pharmacist Ben. We just want to maintain the integrity of our community. So make sure that you think hard. Okay, how did I first think about this or learn about this program? And who do I need to thank? So without further ado, it has been an honor to be able to have this gentleman as a mentor. As I mentioned, some people are able to want to maintain good health. I wasn't one of them. I was on a road to, very, very poor health. And I was tired of it. I was sick and tired of feeling tired. I was too young to feel so old. And then one day I had a friend hear Dr. Wallach on a radio program. They then reached out to me and said, hey, check out this doctor. We'll talk about it later. I went and I checked it out. When I had finally rolled myself out of bed, because I was pretty much bedridden. And when I did, everything just made sense. As a farm kid, we were always reading labels. We were always making sure that the animals were getting the nutrients that they needed. Well, I was doing everything organic. I had my own garden. I was trying to do everything from scratch and eliminate the processed stuff, but I was still getting sicker and sicker. And then it was that main staple in my diet that was contributing to me becoming sicker and sicker. We are going to be learning more about that, because if this is the first time that you've heard this program, you're going to be surprised. But when I took action on what is being taught on this program, I was able to regain my health. I was able to lose 13 different poor health symptoms, and I let go 100 pounds. So it's because of this doctor that we have on with us on Daily with Doc and Becca, Dr. Joel Wallach, that I was able to be able. Okay, we are able to do a lot of stuff, but if we don't have the knowledge, we don't know what it is that's really going to help. And Dr. Joel Wallach, he has just had such an amazing career, starting out as a young man who was tackling some challenges himself at an early age, being aware of what was going on, because he was a farm kid too, making changes in his diet, helping others learn what was helping him be able to just sit in church and not be disruptive. And they started getting results as well. He went on, he played team sports, which for many of us, when we have kiddos that are having a challenge, team sports are just not something that is kind of in their future. But he was able to do it even as a little guy, was successful in it, lettering in multiple different sports, went on to college, worked his way through college in a pathology lab. He got a Bachelor of Science in Plant and Soil Sciences. He went on to become a doctor of veterinary medicine, where through his research there in the lab, in the pathology lab, he was invited and recruited to be part of an expedition to save the white rhino by Merlin Perkins of Mutual Omaha's Wild Kingdom. From that 2 years being spent in Africa, working on conservation and to save the white rhino, because at the time it was fewer than 300. Now there's over 16,000 white rhino across the world. He is one of the main contributors to that. Now, through all of his studies, he has done over close to 30,000 autopsies on over 452 different species, whether it's animal or human. He's done a lot at looking at the body at the cellular level, looking at what made up the composition of that body, what minerals and vitamins and nutrients were there, what weren't, and what disease was also present. He was able to connect the dots between the animal world and the human world. He has written 25 books, 26 actually, 25, that we are able to get our hands on readily from his publication company, Wellness Publications. And The other one is it's held as a national treasure in the Smithsonian Museum. Occasionally, you can find one for sale, a used one for sale. And I'm fortunate to have one. But through all of everything that he has done, he's also found the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis in a Ricci monkey, which was said to be a genetic human disease. Well, not only did he prove that it existed in non-humans, he also proved that it was not genetic. He got fired from proving that because it was against their agenda. He went on to teach nutrition at a naturopathic college, where he decided to become a naturopath as well. So with having 3 postdoctorates, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, studies in plant and soil sciences, and then becoming a human doctor that specialized in nutrition, he found that what he was looking for and what he was wanting to prescribe for his patients through nutrition didn't exist. So he, being the forward-thinking person that he is, he created a formula that started with something that was the most efficient when he found, or when he was looking through these autopsies. And those were the 60 minerals, trace, micro, macro. These minerals he had connected to over 600 different poor health conditions. He also found that the body needed 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and at least 2 essential fatty acids. He put that all together to create the 90 for Life logo or motto, and a group of products that he was able to use within his clinics, where he was getting the results he was looking for. And then he wanted to share it with the world beyond that the 4 walls that he himself was using, which he created the company American Longevity, that then became Longevity because we wanted to reach beyond the borders of the United States or the Americas. And here we are today, reaching around the world with so many products. He doesn't even know the names of them all. But folks, it comes down to the foundation. And today we're going to be looking at tools through history that have affected our health. So without further ado, I am honored to be able to welcome to the screen with me the one and only Dr. Joel Wallach. Hello, Dr. Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc.
Well, thank you so much, Becca. Thank you for the kind introduction and the history trail. Thank you.
Did I miss anything?
Well, we got rid of muscular dystrophy, got Jerry Lewis fired because he took it to the Muscular Dystrophy Foundation. They fired him, put a gag order on him so he couldn't tell the world we had found the cause, prevention, and cure of muscular dystrophy. I also found the cause and prevention for SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. Doctors said that the mothers were laying on the babies and suffocating. It really was just a deficiency that was causing the babies to have heart attacks when they're just a couple of weeks old. Okay. And I sued the FDA 4 times, the Food and Drug Administration, the federal agency. I sued them 8 times in federal court. They would countersue me. I'd sue them again. They'd countersue me. I'd sue them again. And so finally they gave up, and we're able to get these nutrients into the baby formulas. And now you don't hear about sudden death syndrome anymore. You don't hear about muscular dystrophy anymore. You don't hear about cystic fibrosis anymore, because putting all these nutrients into the baby formulas prevented all these diseases that were happening over the years. So we're very, very proud of that and very, very happy.
Well, yeah. Dr. Wallach, there's another very important thing that has to do with early childhood, is you also had one of those, are they petitions, that got folic acid added to prenatal vitamins. Mm-hmm. So what's the importance of folic acid?
It was essential for all tissues, but bone marrow especially. Okay, so babies weren't born anemic. cystic fibrosis, a birth defect. Okay. And so it's one of those things where there's one of those terrible birth defects. Okay. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And we're able to
Like
get rid of it.
cerebral palsy, is that one of them too? If I remember right.
I'm sorry?
Cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy was one
Oh,
that
yeah.
was
Oh,
greatly
yeah.
reduced because of the addition of folic acid.
Yeah. Cerebral palsy. We're talking all, um, let's see here. Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, Huntington's chorea, um, frontal temporal dementia, Charcot-Marie tooth, Bell's palsy. I could go on. There's like 60 different diseases of the brain and spinal cord that are caused by nutritional deficiencies. And we found the cause, prevention, and reversal for all of them. Okay, it's in the flip chart. The flip chart's starting to sell like crazy now. And it's one of those things where they announced today they found just some new tools. This is a very important study in Africa. They found a trove of tools that go back to 3.3 million years ago. They found out man-made tools from 3.3 million years ago. Now that's crazy when you think about it. Well, it's one of those things where we are here now and we can get rid of all these diseases, okay, by putting the nutrients in the food. We have the kids toddy for kids, say under age 10 or 12, kids toddy gives them the 90 essential nutrients. It's a liquid. They think it's a fruit juice, so they love it. And again, it's an endless procedure. You need these things 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day, depending on the body weight. Okay. And it's one of those things where, for instance, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, doctors love those things because they would treat the patients for years and years and years and years before they would finally die. We're talking 10, 15, 20, 30 years, and they're just gradually spiraling downwards. And it was a deficiency of a particular range of nutrients, okay? And the Parkinson's disease, okay, affected one little small bitty part of the middle part of the brain, which help control balance. It's called the substantia nigra, okay? And we found out what it took to rebuild that. And in weeks, we could rebuild it and Parkinson's disease goes away. It blows everybody's mind. We found the cause, prevention, and reversal. I don't want to use the C word, but we found the cause, prevention, and reversal of Parkinson's disease. Same way with Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease is the same thing that causes Parkinson's disease, but it's global. The entire brain is involved there. You can lose 80% of your brain mass, okay, if you don't change your ways when you have Alzheimer's disease. But it's all totally preventable, all totally reversible. And that's why this flip chart's flying off the shelf. And of course, we have, I don't know, close to a dozen famous people. We're talking about movie actors, we're talking about singers, we're talking about professional athletes. We're talking about one of my favorites, of course, is Theo Ratliff, the basketball player. His career was over, and we've came up with a program for him. We fixed his problems. He came back and played for 9 years and made $134 million in 9 years after they had fired him because he couldn't play basketball anymore. So we rebuilt him, okay, with the healthy bone and joint pack and the Glucogel. And it just blows people's minds. Just within weeks, benefit within months, he got his old position back. And in less than 10 years, made $134 million in contracts. Very, very proud of that. Okay.
That's absolutely incredible, Dr. Wallach. Now, as we're looking through history, you briefly mentioned that they had found some tools, some prehistoric tools.
Yeah, that was announced today in the newspaper and online.
So were those things that
in Africa, what they are is sharp rock tools. You can see where they kind of bang rocks together, and they would rub these chunks of rock against each other and create a cutting edge. And they have pictures. You can just go online. I saw them online on my phone. this morning because they showed about, I don't know, 8 or 10 of these tools that go back 3.3 million years ago. There's a whole, what should I say, a bin full of those tools. Is in Africa, they found it. So it's very, very interesting that it goes way back then. Now, this, what should I say? There's a tool that we have, and I've talked about it a few times before. Dead Doctors Don't Lie. It's named after the book, which we've sold, what, 347 million copies of that one, best-selling book. Okay, now this DVD is 2 hours and 8 minutes, okay, and it covers, I don't know, about 30 different chapters on the back.
So what's the name of it again? Is that one the best of Dead Doctors Don't Lie, or which?
Dead Doctors Don't Lie is the title, but it has a subtitle, which Dr. Milan loves the subtitle. Someone should go to jail because of all the mistakes were made resulting in these problems. Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Okay, this is the DVD, 2 hours and 8 minutes. And then there's like 30 chapters. Some of them are only 3 or 4 paragraphs long. Okay, but it's one of those things where you can cruise down to the chapter you want to punch on that. You don't have to listen to the whole thing to get to where you want to go. This is very scientific. It was actually filmed by professional movie film crews. The quality is just outrageous. And this is built so you can actually show it to 2 or 3 people in your home, in your den or something like that, in your office. You can show it to a classroom up on a screen. You can show it to what?
Large or small, it's a tool that people can use to help them get awareness of the things that we've been taught that are incorrect.
That is correct. They're being taught incorrect. And this is all back here. Every family should have at least one of these. Now, if you buy 10 of them, you get a nice big discount. And then when you sell the 10 of them one at a time at the regular price, you make a nice profit. So every family should at least get one of these, but it's better that you get the 10, you get the discount, and then you can start talking to your churches, your workmates, your neighbors, your family.
Hey, Doc, go ahead and set that down so it's not distorting your voice. But so I think that's probably the only one that I don't have, Dr. Wallach. As I was looking over here, I'm thinking, yeah, I don't have that one. So that will definitely be one that I will need to be getting my hands on because, folks, it is I've seen it. I've watched it with Dr. Wallach. It is a great lecture that goes through and shares, and I think it was done like over 15 years ago.
That's correct.
Maybe
and it goes through the various books we've done, and it shows the diseases that are highlighted in some of these books and so forth. Remember, this is professionally filmed by professional movie.
Yep. So they've got it separated out so you can skip through the different sections of it and go to the ones that are most important to you or the ones that you want to learn about. So, Dr. Wallach, we want to make sure that people know that they can get your books from Wellness Publications. And the phone number for that is 800
755-4656, 1-800-755-4656. And then there's a website, www.drjwallach.com, www.drjwallach.com. And, you know, like I say, you buy 10 of them, you get a nice discount. You sell them one at a time to your team, you make a nice profit. Okay, and your team learns things. And then, of course... And
it also, Christmas coming up, Dr. Wallach, it might make a nice Christmas gift.
Oh, it's what should I say? This is one of the Christmas gifts of Christmas gifts, other than life. Because this is something that supports health, healthy births, healthy life, healthy longevity. And remember, that there's so many of these things that doctors say are genetic in your genes. There are no genetically transmitted, a single genetically transmitted disease, not a single one. Okay, if doctors say, oh, you have a genetically transmitted disease, excuse yourself, okay, because the doctor's just lying. There are no genetically transmitted diseases. The only thing that are genetic are your hair color, your skin color, your eye color, and whether you're a boy or girl. That's it. Everything else is determined by, for instance, the land flowing with milk and honey. Everybody's heard that. They really don't know what it means. The land flowing with milk and honey was a biblical thing in the Old Testament, okay, 2,000 years ago. And it talked about people who lived to be 120, 200, 300, 400, 500, because they were living in the land flowing with milk and honey. Well, they're usually in mountains or at the base of mountains, and the rocks being ground up at the top of the mountains by glaciers were turned into dust. And there was a white dust. And the white dust got into the streams coming down the sides of the mountains. It looked like milk coming down the side of the mountain. You could see it from half a mile away. There's milk coming down the side of the mountain. And so what about the land flowing with milk and honey? What about the honey? Well, all those minerals coming into the valleys made more flowers, more bees, more honey. So this is where the term the land flowing with milk and honey came from. And it's one of those things where it was an observation that was quite correct. They didn't know how it happened, but they know that there were places right now. Pakistan is the Hunzas who are living to be 120. Okay. Many of them live to be 130, 140, 150, 200. There's not a single medical doctor living with the Hunzas in the Himalayan mountains in Pakistan. Not a single medical doctors, and yet white medical doctors in America live to be 75. Black medical doctors in America live to be 67. Emergency room doctors in America live to be 55.7. That's not a very good record for the people who are supposed to know everything about health.
Well, and Doc, when you look at the cost of health, the United States has the highest cost of to maintain health.
Yeah, well, this is why doctors are happy. They say, oh, you have a genetic thing. You have to keep coming to me every month for the, it'll gradually get worse and worse and worse. You might live 7 years, you might live 10 years, but there's a limit to how much we can do for you. We can make it painless, and people are just so grateful to get rid of the pain. But once they learn that, what should I say, they've been cheated of half their life because the doctors had kids to put to college. They wanted a nice car and a big house, do a lot of traveling. And so they needed a lot of patients that needed daily care to get rid of the discomfort.
Well, I know from myself, and then I also learned recently, one of our other distributors, where we were on pain medications because there was nothing else they could do for us, and it destroyed the lining of our stomachs, Doc. So through nutrition, though, we've been able to no longer need those pain meds, and it is possible to rebuild the lining of the stomach and the intestines.
Oh yeah, absolutely, you can do that. And of course, that's what we have the various products for. And of course, we have the Ultimate Daily Classic, which covers blood flow. Make sure you're getting plenty of blood flow into your brain, your eyes, your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, your muscles, your bones, your arteries. That's the Ultimate Daily Classic tablet. You take that with the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, okay, which has the 90 essential nutrients in it. And then, of course, we have one of my favorite stories is every species of bears, black bears, polar bears, brown bears, every kind of bear.
Grizzly?
From the various mountains around the world, all these different liver cancer. And then in the zoos, the bears were dying of liver cancer. There's not a single other animal species in the zoos dying of liver cancer. Why was it only the bears? Well, it took me 3 days to figure it out. That's because they were selling peanuts at the front of the zoos to help run the zoo, get the money. And that was and the bears would learn to stand up and wave their front paws, and people would throw the peanuts at them. Well, there's a fungus that grows in the ground where they grow peanuts. The fungus produces a chemical that produces liver cancer. As soon as we switched them off peanuts and put them on popcorn, all of the new cases of liver cancer in polar bears disappeared. This is why so many people who were beer drinkers got liver cancer. And they're saying, oh, yes, the alcohol in that beer you're drinking. No, it was the peanuts that the bartender was giving them to come to their bar. Just
Interesting.
Like being given to the bears.
So Dr. Wallach, I was raised, we cooked everything. We made our own everything. We worked on, I learned how to make bread at an early age. We had the garden. We were putting wood ashes in the garden. But when it came to the cooking, I wanted to go back to more of a natural way of doing it. So instead of buying my flour, I started grinding my own wheat berries, and I was still getting sicker and sicker. What was I doing wrong?
Well, you're grinding up blueberries.
No, my own wheat.
Oh, that's gluten. Yeah, it kills the villi in your intestine. You lose 95% of your absorptive surface, and you put the good stuff in the mouth, and it comes out the other end because you can't absorb it because the gluten. Okay, in wheat, barley, rye, and oats, and buckwheat, you don't want those foods. Okay, and of course, doctors push. Oh yeah, eat your whole grains or eat your whole grains. Well, that's good for a couple of weeks, but you don't want to be doing it. You'll feel good for a couple of weeks, but you'll feel bad after that because that gluten is killing the villi in your intestines, so you cannot absorb nutrition.
So if it's killing the villi in the intestines, is there any way to bring it back?
Get off of gluten. Take your 90 essential nutrients, and your body's trying constantly to rebuild, repair, repair. And so as long as you get off all the bad stuff and give it the raw materials, you'll regrow your villi. And suddenly now, this is why all the bears are now, living 4 or 5 times longer than they used to, and none of them are getting liver cancer anymore. It was a big story in the International Zoo Yearbook a year after I came up with that, and we stopped all of the cancer formation in the bears in the zoos around the world. It took me 3 days to figure that one out.
So how about when we went from using fuel or wood as fuel to heat our houses?
Yeah, well,
to going to electric.
We use fuel and coal for fuel. Okay, that was very important because everybody put the wood ashes and coal ashes into their gardens. Those were the minerals that were left after you burnt the wood and the coal, and those trees had sucked the minerals out of the ground, and the minerals didn't burn. They put them in the soil as a fertilizer, and the plants loved it. Okay, so when they'd eat the plants that were fertilized with wood ashes and coal ashes, they were getting minerals that way. They were putting wood ashes, not coal ashes, but usually wood ashes, they were putting into their food again as giving a little bit of a zip, and they're getting the minerals that way. And so the families that were doing their own farming and getting the wood ashes and coal ashes into their gardens and into their food, they were living in the land flowing with milk and honey. Okay. And of course, what is it? At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, Thomas Edison flipped a switch and turned on electricity in New York City. And within a couple of years, suddenly everybody had lost their nutrition because they weren't getting the minerals from wood ashes and coal ashes anymore because they all went to electricity. And they weren't getting the wood ashes and coal ashes anymore. And doctors, when they said, should I be taking any vitamins? No, just eat well, you get everything you need. I must have heard that 1,000 times. My doctor said, just eat well, I'll get everything I need. That's absolutely not true. Absolutely not true. And doctors have killed more people by telling them just eat well, don't take any vitamins, minerals. They have killed more people in all the wars that we've had with other countries in the world. Okay. It's terrible, terrible,
Well,
terrible.
That is terrible, Doc. But I think the saddest part of it is they're only passing on what they've learned. So shame on the institutions that are teaching them how to prescribe drugs instead of nutrition.
That's correct. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Wallach, we do have hands up, so we want to make sure that we leave plenty of time to answer questions. Everybody loves it when you're on, Doc, because they can actually ask a question and get an answer of what nutrients you would recommend directly from you.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that we leave plenty of time for that. Folks, again, if this program was shared to you by somebody specific, you're going to be getting back with them, telling them thank you, and they will be able to help you get started on a program that's right for you. Now, if there's no one to thank, feel free to give our call team a call at 855-949-3377. Again, that's 855-949-3377. And if you have questions, you're not on with us, or we don't get to your questions today, feel free to email them in to questions@dailywithdoc.com and let us know who you are working with and who we can thank for inviting you to watch and participate in helping the world get information that they can use to help themselves. So, Dr. Wallach, first thing, we are going to be going up to Ms. Lewis. Ms. Lewis, go ahead and unmute yourself. And what question do you have for Dr. Wallach today?
I missed it. Where are we going?
We're going to somebody that's here with us in the Zoom room, and she's going to ask a question, Doc.
Okay.
Yes. My granddaughter has Cushing syndrome, so what would you suggest for her?
What symptoms are she showing?
I guess she's growing some hair on her face. She's getting really fat, and I don't know what else, but she has all different.
Okay, how much does she weigh? How much does she weigh?
I have no idea. She's probably. She's gotten quite heavy. She's maybe 5'3" or so, and
Maybe 200 pounds?
she might weigh that much. I don't know if she weighs quite that much, but she's really
Okay.
quite.
Does she have any high blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis?
Not that I know of.
Okay. And her complaint is, her symptoms are weight gain. What else?
Yeah. Well, weight gain, and she's growing. Well, she's getting fat where she shouldn't, and I guess she has growing hair on her face.
Okay, so she's getting masculine. Okay. Hair on face. Okay. All right. So she get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, butter, iron, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. The diet one's got to go. Then, say at around 200 pounds, she needs 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of everything twice a day. She needs the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. That'll be 2 bottles a month. That's to get blood flowing into the brain and everything else. I'd also have her take the I-26 to make sure that she's not getting Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's disease, and they're misdiagnosing it, which would be common. Okay. And so she needs the I-26. I like the French vanilla chewables. They also come in banana coconut chewables, which is our bestseller. And then we do have the capsules and the powder. So however people want to take it, I-26, 3 doses a day. All right. And then we have the Xerafem tablets. Have her take 2 or 3 of those twice a day, the Xerafem tablets. Okay. And that'll bring on the girly stuff. Okay.
Xerafem, how do you spell that?
It's Xerafem.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so give us a call every couple of weeks. Let us know how she's doing. We'll walk you guys through this.
Thank you.
You bet.
So, Dr. Wallach, this syndrome sounds like it's a hormonal imbalance that could be producing more cortisol than the body needs.
Yeah, because masculinizing, getting a beard, okay, and that's giving a little bit of hint what's going on, okay, and so this is why I wanted to take the Xerafem, get on the right track, get on the right trail. So let's see how this goes here for a couple of weeks, and then we can make adjustments as necessary.
Well, Dr. Wallach, one thing that I absolutely adore about you is you don't take a medical diagnosis. You look at the symptoms. Because as I mentioned earlier, you have connected over 600 different poor health conditions, those are the symptoms, to nutritional deficiencies.
That's correct.
And these medical diagnoses are basically whatever the name of a doctor that then has decided to put these different symptoms that are seen together into a diagnosis. So folks, we look at the whole body.
Yeah.
We go by the symptoms.
Yeah, the medical system got off on the wrong trail. Okay, before the medical doctors came along, okay, when electricity came along, that's when medical doctors really came along. Okay, prior to the medical doctors, prior to electricity, there were herbalists, and they'd find the herbs, and people, grandma was using this herb for this and this herb for that and so forth. And they would eat dirt, and they would put the wood ashes and coal ashes into their gardens and into their foods. They're getting all these minerals. Now, remember, the land flowing with milk and honey, there were some areas which had more minerals because the
water flowing out of the mountains.
Well, the creeks coming down the side of the mountains aren't equal all over the world. Okay. Places like right now in Pakistan, where people live the longest, 120 years, 122 years, they're the longest living peoples right now. They don't have a single medical doctor there, but they live in the land flowing with milk and honey. They're getting 75 to 100 minerals versus some other place are getting some minerals coming down the side of the mountains, but it only has 3 minerals in that mineral. You got to live in the place with land flowing with milk and honey, very specific. Okay, there you go.
I love the fact, Dr. Wallach, because I was a community herbalist whenever I found you. And this is the first book that I bought. Let's Play Herbal Doctor. So I love the fact that you acknowledge the importance of herbs.
Oh, yes.
Because
they were the great medicines that grandma figured out how to use. And then she told her daughters and sons and her sisters and so forth. And it spread. And of course, it had 2 things happening. It was the herb itself, but also where the herbs grew. Okay, because there's more nutrients in the soil in some places than others. And this is, all those things had to be taken into consideration. And so once I figured that out, that's why we had to come up with the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Okay, it had the nutrients that covered over 600 different diseases, okay, right out of the chute.
And before the Brain and Heart Pack was the Pig Pack, the Pig Pack Plus. Those were the arthritis formulas.
Yeah, well, that's
just plant-derived minerals.
The medical doctor were attacking me in court, okay, because I was a veterinarian telling people what to take. And so that medicine to take, okay, doctor. And so that's where we changed the name to the Pig Pack, because they couldn't say anything to me about a pig pack because pigs are animals. I'm a veterinarian. So okay, so that's how that happened.
Well, the Pig Pack Plus is where I got started and where I started feeling the results. And folks, give Dr. Wallach's formulas 90 days minimum. You are going to be amazed. Take note of how you feel right now. You can even get your health score by going to score.dailywithdoc.com. Take that free health evaluation. In the notes, the part that says how you heard about us, let us know if you're already working with somebody. And if you're not, let us know if you'd like to have a consultation with a coach. So this is for those who have never tried the products. But this health evaluation gives you your score so that you can keep track of the progress that you are making. So I went from a negative 184 to a positive 92, Dr. Wallach, with 100 being perfect. So I think I did all right. And that's just using your recommendations.
Well, you did a fabulous job. And so thank you. So you could have just helped yourself and you go on and work at, one of these.
Dr. Wallach, I was a statistician working for a medical device manufacturing company.
Mhm.
I'm not going to go work at McDonald's, not saying that, well, now I don't want to eat there either. But Doc, when I was looking at in the quality department, looking at the returns that came back to us because the device failed, I vowed to myself I was going to figure out what it took to never need that device.
Okay, well, guess
And I
what?
found it.
I think
I found it.
I think we're making it here, and here's why. A couple of weeks ago, 7-Eleven said they're closing 450 stores.
Mm,
Yesterday, Walgreens said they're closing 1,200 stores. Okay, so
that's
everybody
a lot of people.
everybody should be going to those stores and talking to the employees and say, hey, join us in longevity, become a team member with us.
I agree. And folks, this is part of a crusade, a team, something that you can share with others. It's replicatable. My results, may not be typical, but I know a lot of people that are having some amazing results, even better than mine. And they can get a thank you check for sharing empowering information and products with others. So get back with the person that shared this program with you. Again, if there's no one to thank, give us a call at 855-949-3377. Dr. Wallach, let's go to the next hand that is up. And Phyllis, what questions do you have for Doc today?
Hello, Doc.
Hi, how can we help you?
Well, I have two questions for you today. And the first one is for a client. She is 74 years old, 156 pounds, 5'3". And she's been told due to her visual impairment symptoms, she has macular degeneration. And they're saying it's a late stage called geographic atrophy. And she's wondering if there's hope she can recover from at least some of this visual impairment when it has reached that later stage of atrophy.
Oh, absolutely. So first of all, we need to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, brown rhinos, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. Then at 156 pounds, she needs 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of breakfast and dinner. She also needs the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 of those twice a day. It'll be, I think 1 bottle a month will handle that. Ultimate Daily Classic tablets that'll get blood flowing into the brain and the spinal cord and the eyes and so forth. The eyes are attached to the brain through the optic nerve, right? And they send messages back to the optic nerve to the brain, and the brain sends messages to the eye through the optic nerve. The odds are she has osteoporosis of the skull. She needs to get a hold of the book. It's all in your head. And then she also needs I-26 in case she's got Alzheimer's disease or Parkinson's disease. Either one of those can cause the symptoms she's got.
Interesting.
Okay.
So the I-26 can help to repair and rebuild the nerve damage.
It rebuilds the myelin in the brain and spinal cord. And I have so many, what should I say, so many people that we have helped. This flip chart, which I haven't mentioned yet, on page 27, there's a story of Madeline O. O is the first letter of her last name, so I didn't want to put her whole last name on there because every morning she'd have 1,000 people on her front lawn. Okay, if I put her last name on there. And she had Parkinson's disease for 9, 10, 11, 12 years. 11 years, thank you. 11 years going downhill, downhill, down here. And the doctors are telling her family, look, the end is here. She might not wake up tomorrow. She might live another couple of days or a couple of weeks, but the end is near. And one of her relatives called me and said, is there anything we can do for her? I said, yeah. Give her the essentially the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack and the I-26. And then call me in a couple of weeks. He said, well, she might not live there. Just call me. Well, in 90 days, she didn't have Parkinson's disease anymore. The doctor said, because she went for her checkup, no, we must have the wrong stuff. Come back tomorrow. We'll rerun all the tests. They reran all the tests. Didn't have Parkinson's disease anymore. we got rid of it after, you know,
It
10,
was actually 2.5 months, Dr. Wallach, just 2.5 months.
2.5 months. Yeah. 2.5
And
months. We got rid of it after 10 years or so. Okay. Getting worse and worse and worse. And the tests were just awful, showing that she had terrible advanced. And on page 27 of the flip chart, her story is there. The right-hand side of the page, she had sent us all these letters. We took the ones that were most pertinent of giving information, and we highlighted in yellow in this flip chart the passages where she gave very, very useful information. The left side of this page are doctors who were treating her, and they were freaked out because they had never seen anybody with Parkinson's disease recover. Okay. And we see it now by the dozens every day around the world.
That's our job, is to freak out the doctors, right?
That's correct.
I have one more question.
Okay.
It's Hunter on YouTube. He would like to know, how do you treat alpha-gal syndrome from a tick bite? And I wondered, are you familiar with this alpha-gal syndrome from a tick bite?
Oh no, if they get it from a tick bite, it's got a bug that the tick was carrying and gave it to the person.
There's something, there's something called a sugar molecule called alpha-gal that's the bite transfers it into the body, and in some people it triggers a reaction from the body's defenses, causing a mild to severe allergic reaction. Does that give us a clue?
Well, again, we have all these anti-inflammatory products, right? And so we have the colloidal silver in case there's a bug involved. I take a dropper full under my tongue on the left side, dropper full on the right side, 10 minutes before breakfast, 10 minutes for lunch, 10 minutes for dinner time, and 10 minutes for bed. Been doing that for like 40 years. And so that's one thing to do. But also the I-26. I go ahead and take the I-26 to rebuild the optic nerve, rebuild the brain, rebuild the spinal cord, rebuild the peripheral nerves. And so the I-26, if there's myelin involved, and very, very important. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Doc.
Okay. God bless. Keep up the good work and give us a call every couple of weeks. Let us know how these folks are doing.
Sounds good.
God bless.
all right, thank you so much, Phyllis. And next we are going to AJ. AJ, what questions are you bringing to a Daily with Doc today?
Hey, Dr. Wallach, how's it going?
Okay, AJ. Hey, you've been doing a great job. Been watching you guys. Thank you for all that you do.
I was hoping, Doc. I was really hoping, trying to make you proud. So, there's a woman wrote in. She says that her 4-year-old grandson has ADHD, heavy on the hyper. He eats a diet of junk food and fast food. Would any of your supplements help support a life without medication?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So, and it's based on body weight, but on the label of kids toddy, they need to get kids toddy. Kids toddy is a liquid. The kids think it's fruit juice and they love it. But it was a supplement meant for just this sort of thing. Okay. Because these kids, they don't eat everything like they're supposed to. And they usually don't take supplements. If they do get put on their plate, they push them off to the side and give them to the dog or something like that. They don't take the supplements. But the kids toddy they love, okay? And it tells you on the label how much you give per pound of body weight and all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, I also like the Rebound for energy for these kids, or Rebound or Sports Drink. It has the minerals, the plant-derived colloidal minerals, but it also has the stuff that's necessary, okay, for just vitamins, amino acids, that kind of stuff. But don't forget the kids toddy, the Rebound, and I'd start there.
EFAs and the kid sprinkles?
Yeah, that's fine. But that's not by itself. That's in addition to everything else.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And then I had another question. A woman asked if, and this may be a Becca question, but she
Did
said,
they say, don't forget the excuse me. Yeah, don't forget the what? They need to be taken the stuff to rebuild the myelin. Okay.
26?
What?
I-26?
I-26. If I didn't say it, I needed to say it, make sure I said it.
Okay. Thank you, Doc. So this might be a Becca question. The woman asked if she can put the collagen peptides in her soup because
Yes.
it's hot, and she's wondering about denaturing the.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it in soup.
So Dr. Wallach, let's talk about that a little bit. Because I know whenever you're making bone broth, you're boiling bones.
Mhm.
And this is coming from some of the same concept.
Well, bone broth was used for thousands of years. Okay.
Mhm.
They would simmer bones in vinegar water at night while they're asleep. They drink it the next morning. This is how they got the nutrients for their bone marrow, for their bones, and all that kind of stuff, because they didn't have bone medication back then. And then once they got off of bone broth, people were getting all this arthritis and osteoporosis, and the whole community in the world was falling apart because people were tired of the bone broths and stinking up the house and cooking the bones at night while they're asleep. And so that's why we came up with the Glucogel. I'm the guy who invented Glucogel. Okay, and Glucogel is the raw materials to rebuild cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, bone marrow, bone matrix. There you go, Glucogel. Okay, and so I take 3 of those twice a day. If I'm going to be doing something very, very active that day, I'll do three times a day.
All right. Well, Dr. Wallach, we've got 3 more hands up. So let's just move right through this. Renee, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Howdy.
Hey, how can we help you?
Howdy.
I have a friend that he has, from what they say, a sciatic pain that goes down his leg into his foot, and he's having a heck of a time walking. So anyways, I suggested and ordered for him the BTT and Glucogel. But is there something else that maybe I could help him realize that he needs to use?
Yeah, how much does he weigh?
Well, I would say probably about 200.
Okay, so 200 pounds. Get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, bran, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. The diet one's got to go. And then if you're going to go with the BTT Beyond Tangerine, it's a good choice. Go ahead and have him take 3 of those twice a day. He could take 3 times a day. It'll require 2 of these little bottles of BTT. Okay, there you go. Okay.
Oh, so now is there a difference between the liquid or the powder and what you just showed?
No, just to me, since I travel a lot, the capsules are, I don't have to worry about it falling over and I'm losing all my powder all over the place and stuff like that. The powders are good for having it in the kitchen, in your office. But if you're traveling a lot, I like the capsules. Okay.
So what's the difference? What's the difference between the, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but what's the difference between the capsules, the powder, and the liquid of BTT?
Can I answer this one, Doc?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the tablets don't have quite as much of the majestic plant minerals in them. The tangy tangerine, especially the 2.0, 2.5, they include those minerals, but they also include pre and probiotics that help with the digestive system.
Oh.
Now, with the tablets, we do have the on the go, or Longevity has the on the go, where they break it up. So you get your 4 tablets. It also includes the product called Ultimate Cal. So that's going to be for your calcium and magnesium. And then it also includes a mineral cap so that you do got those extra minerals. But it only includes 1 EFA. So I always, when I'm traveling, I take my bottle of EFAs with me so that I can take this one plus 3 more. So that's the difference between the tablets and the powders. Now, the difference between the liquid, like the Ultimate Tangy Tangerine or the Ultimate Classic, or Daily Classic, sorry, Daily Ultimate Classic, Daily Classic, one of those two or both, is they have different proportions, especially when you're looking at the calcium and the vitamin C. So I love the fact that they have different combinations to help meet individual needs. So those are the big differences.
Okay.
And
I
the
just want
liquids,
to,
the
I
liq-
just want to tell all of you that I am just so thankful that you guys are so loving and kind to help everybody get better.
thank you, Renee.
You
One
think,
of these days, I'm going to meet you for lunch because you're less than 100 miles away from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, you don't
So-
want to meet me. I'm too
Yes, I
ornery.
do. No, hey, Henri, hey, you can see the color of my hair. Well, let's go ahead, Dr. Wallach. Thank you so much, Renee. We appreciate you. And next, I'm going to go to Keely. She has had her hand up several times and keeps getting interrupted with internet issues. So, Keely, go ahead and unmute yourself and let's get your question before you get booted again.
Well,
Keely,
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, for some reason I am having problem after problem today, but anyway, always an honor, Dr. Wallach, to be able to speak to you. I have two issues with children. I have an unbelieving parent where the child is 3 years old and has cystic fibrosis. I think they are basically really struggling with the ability to go up against the medical community, and they are afraid to have false hope. What words of wisdom would you have for them?
Okay, well, I'm the guy who figured out the cause, prevention, and cure for cystic fibrosis.
We
I got
know.
the Schwartz Award for that. Okay, it's not a genetic disease. It's a nutritional deficiency during pregnancy, and also a nutritional deficiency if the mother was breastfeeding and so on. How old is this child?
3.
And how much do they weigh? Do you know?
I think about 32 pounds.
Okay, well, I'd go with the kids' toddy. Kids' toddy. Read the label for the dosage on it. Don't forget the Rebound. Okay, the liquid energy drink. Okay, there's no carbonation in it. I love the Rebound. I take 2 of those sticks a day. There's 30 sticks in a bottle, or a box. Excuse me, 30 sticks in a box. And so I put 1 stick in a bottle for breakfast, 1 stick in a bottle for the afternoon. For a 3-year-old, 1 stick a day will work. Okay, let them sip on it. And so for energy, and it has all the minerals and vitamins in it. It's amazing, amazing drink. We actually made that for Theo Ratliff, the basketball player. Okay, and so at any rate, we have the CM cream to apply to the joints for pain. And again, I would throw in the what? I would go with something to rebuild the collagen. So the Glucogel. I'd also have them take the Glucogel. So take 2 of those 3 times a day of the Glucogel, and don't forget the kids' toddy and the CM cream for pain. And so cystic fibrosis says I got the Klaus Schwartz Award, okay, for figuring out the cause, prevention, and reversal of cystic fibrosis.
What could they expect to see over the course of 90 days?
Well, it could be gone in 90 days, okay? Okay, it's just one of those things where you're going to see improvement when you get rid of all the bad foods and you start taking the kids' toddy. You're going to start seeing improvement of energy, sleeping better, better attitude, all kinds of stuff, because you're also reducing pain with the CM cream on the joints that hurt. And so this cystic fibrosis is one of my favorite. That's the first birth defect that I figured out the cause, prevention, reversal for. Okay. And when I found the first non-human case at the Yerkes Primate Center, found the first monkey with it, they were freaked out. And then when I figured out how to get rid of it, they fired me because they thought it was genetic. Well, you're out of your mind, it's genetic. Everybody knows that. Bye. They fired me.
Well, I'm going
So
to make
Dr.
sure
Wallach-
that they get a copy of this tape today.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to add to that. So Dr. Wallach, with cystic fibrosis, some of the most common symptoms include coughing, wheezing, difficulty breathing, sinus issues. Are those some things that they can expect to see diminish?
That's right. If they take all the nutrients properly, including the kid's toddy, okay. And
So it's not just masking the symptoms though, is it?
no, we're rebuilding the tissues.
Okay,
And the
gotcha.
body can do that.
Body has, the good Lord gave us the capacity to do that, but this is where you need the tools. The tools are the nutrients. And the doctors still haven't figured that out yet. Doctors are treating symptoms. And people are very gracious and grateful that, oh, I had this pain for years. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't work. I couldn't do anything. I was miserable 24 hours a day. Even if I was sleeping, I was miserable. And and I got on this program of Wallachs, and in 2 weeks' time, I could sleep all night, no problem. And in a month's time, it all went away. In 2 months' time, it never came back. And so this is why I was 90 days, 90 for life. Give me 90 days, but you have to do this forever because it's not a genetic thing that you're sort of sensitive to, but where you live, these nutrients are not found in the food. So you just can't eat well and expect to get everything you need. You must take a complete supplement program, which we just laid out.
All right. Thank you
Marvelous.
so much, Dr. Wallach. I wanted to include that. And Keely, you had another question. Dr. Wallach, can you hang out for like 2 more questions?
Okay, one quick one.
This one isn't quick, so I can wait till tomorrow. Take the next one.
Okay, let's see. Gloria, do you have a quick question?
I do. Hello, Dr. Wallach. I spoke with you last week in reference to someone who had a traumatic brain injury. You recommended the I-26. I spoke with her. She's on a cholesterol lowering medication. How should we advise her from here? Should we advise her to take the I-26?
Find a new doctor. She should find a new doctor. She should find a new doctor because cholesterol is material for your brain and spinal cord to make the white matter of the brain, the myelin in the brain. If you want to repair your brain from a physical injury or a chemical injury, okay, or an infection injury, any kind of injury, the brain, you need that cholesterol. Okay, cholesterol is also the raw material to make sex hormones. So why would you want to have no sex, no brain, and be happy?
Yeah, how should I advise her? Should she just make a decision to not take the cholesterol lowering medications, or should she take them both at the same time?
Everybody's choice. I would never even hold cholesterol lowering medication in my hand. Okay. I wouldn't, if you read the label from a distance, oh, that's cholesterol, anti-cholesterol medication. Read what cholesterol does. Cholesterol, you don't eat it. You do not want to eat fried cholesterol because it turns out to be something bad. When you have cholesterol, as it's produced in food, okay, then it gives your body raw materials to make them. 85% of your brain weight is myelin. 85% of your brain weight is cholesterol. You get rid of cholesterol, you get all these problems. Most of these brain problems are created by doctors telling you to get off of cholesterol.
Okay.
So that's the protective coating also, isn't it, Dr. Wallach?
I'm sorry, say again?
Right.
Isn't that the protective coating for the brain?
Yeah, the white matter of the brain is, yeah.
So if she continues to take the lowering cholesterol medicine, should she even attempt to take the I-26?
Well, Well, that's saying, I'm going to let you shoot me.
But you can only do it with
Gotta
an
take-
aluminum bullet.
You got to take the I-20 builds the white matter of the brain, but you got to talk to other doctors and find out what their opinion is on the cholesterol thing. The cholesterol is your best friend. It also makes up 95% of your sex hormones. If you're a girl, you want to take the Zerafem. Take 2 or 3 of those twice a day. If you're a male, you want to take Zeratest. Take 2 or 3 of those twice a day. Okay. And that goes along with the cholesterol. You do not want to eat fried cholesterol. Do not eat fried cholesterol. Do not heat it up. Don't do it.
But I-26. In addition, brain and heart pack.
Even if she chooses to continue to stay on the cholesterol medication, still I-26, or how should we approach
You
that?
want to find a doctor who will agree to watch you and work with you if you reduce that cholesterol lowering medication. You want to work with the cholesterol lowering medication.
And Gloria, recommend that she reads the side effects of that cholesterol lowering medication twice. Side effects alone turned me off, and I didn't want to have anything to do with it. Dr. Wallach, we are 10 minutes after the hour. Thank you so much for joining us. I know we had more questions. We've got people saying, you are the best, Dr. Wallach, with lots of hearts and smiles. So we thank you. We will have you back tomorrow, folks. So Dr. Wallach is here live with us Wednesdays and Thursdays on Daily with Doc from 12 to 1-ish. But we do try to cut it off at 1 because he does have another program following this one. So thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And if I could get my team up on the screen with us, that would be absolutely fantastic. We could not do this without them, Dr. Wallach. So I know you've got a skedaddle. You're getting ready to go. So thank you again, Doc, for a great show, great information. We appreciate you starting this crusade.
Thank you, everybody. The team, you did a great job as usual. Love all of you gals and guys. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Well, we greatly appreciate you, Dr. Wallach. Bye for now. And folks, thank you so much for joining us. More than an hour of information that's empowering to help you as an individual. Think about it. Think about what makes sense. Are you chemical deficient? Are you having a whole bunch of side effects and then you really didn't pay attention to those side effects of a prescription that you have been given? Ask your doctor about it. I know I have had doctors where I've asked them about it and they're like, oh, there's no side effects. And then I pull out that insert and it's like, okay, so this is a lie? Folks, we need to be our own health authorities. We need to pay attention. And when there's over 600 different poor health conditions linked to nutritional deficiencies, that means something. We're not chemical deficient, we're nutrient deficient. So let's give the body what our bodies are starving for, because it really does work. Now, this program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician, nor is it meant to treat, cure, diagnose any disease. The products themselves are not to either, but if you even go to pubmed.gov, look up nutrients as individual nutrients and what they have been found to do positively for the body, you're going to find a lot of information. You take those individual nutrients, you synergistically blend them together in a form that the body can actually absorb. None of this 8 to 26% that you get over the counter, but absolutely absorb with over 90% absorption rate. I mean, even if you have a poor digestive system, you're going to get absorption, folks, and you're going to feel the difference. My name is Becca Dukes. Yes, I have a little bit of a passionate drive with this because of how it has helped me. And I want it for you as well. And I know my co-hosts have all experienced positive results with what Dr. Wallach has shared. One of these days, I think we're going to have a show where we just go through around the horn and share the benefits that we have felt from taking Dr. Wallach's recommendations. My executive production manager, Ruth Ellen Sanchez, is the first one I see here to my next to me. I don't know if it's my right, your right. You never know. But she helps to keep us all in line, keeps everything organized, and helps to make sure that we do have our guests ready to go at the time that we are to have them, and bringing topics that are at the forefront of the communities around the world. So thank you so much, Ruth Ellen, for what you do. And also, folks, if you're on the live stream, what you see on the screen there with the header, the footer, she's the one that's pulling that all together and pushing it out so that it can go to all of the different platforms. Next to her, we have Cheri, who's also on our tech crew, and she is helping to get it set up so everything is lined up, ready to go, turning channels on and off. Thank you so much, Cheri, for all that you do. We have Marilyn, who, if you're not live with us and have that chat open, you're missing out on a lot of great information that is written, transcribed from what is being shared verbally and put into text. So thank you so much, Marilyn, for all that you do there using your skills. And we have Rod, who's out on the different platforms, helping to bring in questions, bringing in questions from the field as a certified holistic health coach, which each and every one of us here are certified holistic health coaches. So thank you, Rod, for all that you do. And Phyllis, thank you. One of the originals within the Longevity family who got Dr. Wallach and his message on the air on radio programs all around the United States, which is how I originally found out about Dr. Wallach. So thanks to Phyllis and her wonderful husband, Andy. I just absolutely love and adore them, and I'm honored to have them as co-hosts on our program as well. And last but not least, we have AJ. AJ is our director of marketing manager who has made it possible for us to be, because he does the grunt work, to get us on all of these different platforms and making sure that everything is connected to the way that it should be. So thank you so much, AJ. Greatly appreciate all of these folks. And I appreciate every single one of you hearing my voice, because you are part of the solution. You're hearing information that can make a difference, not only in your life, but in the lives of those around you. And as we're helping those around us, together, we're helping the world. And many people have lost hope. So be that light of hope. If you're shared this program by somebody specific, get back with them and say, hey, I want to be part of the solution. I want to help myself. I want to help my communities. And it's okay to get a thank you check for helping others, folks. It really is. So if you're looking for part-time income or to replace an income, you're in the right place as you're listening to us. As we're not making any income claims. It does have to do with the efforts that you put into it. But folks, your efforts don't go unrewarded when you're helping others find better health. Thank you again for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow. We're here Monday through Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time. And check to see what it is in your time zone. Daily with Doc, zoom.com. AJ, are you wanting to say something? What am I forgetting?
No, it may be a little early, but tomorrow night we have Ben's Bites after the show at 7 p.m. Central or 7 p.m. Mountain.
All right. So
Okay.
put it on your calendars. October 17th, Pharmacist Ben Bites with Coach AJ. So always a great place. Folks, you can find the replays for all of our programming on YouTube, on Rumble, on Patreon, on X, on Instagram, on Amazon Movie, Amazon TV, Audible, Roku, Apple TV. Folks, we're about everywhere you can think of, including iHeart and what is it? FM, something FM. I got to get the whole list together. I keep saying that and I'm going to do it. But folks, thank you so much for joining hanging out with us today. Let us know where you're at. If you're out on YouTube, Rumble, wherever, click the like button, the subscribe button, and share this also with somebody that you know. Whether you care about them or not, they deserve to hear information to help them on their health journey. Until next time, bye for now. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have the founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have the founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal